Namaskara. I'm Anagha Prasad, a professional storyteller trained in Kathalaya. I love telling stories to the young and the younger at heart, and I've been doing so for the last 6 years. Loving this journey of sharing and learning, and it's amazing. And as part of Dasara Live, E-Kala Mandira, I'm here today to share with you all a story of Jai Mata Di! Jai Mata Di! Vaishnodevi. Long ago, in South India, there was a childless couple. They prayed and prayed and prayed to all the gods and goddesses. Many years passed by and they still didn't have a child. They prayed to Lord Shakti, Vishnu, seeking and praying with all their devotion to give them a child. The wife got pregnant. And that's when Ratnakar promised himself that when the baby is born, I shall never ever stop the baby from doing whatever he or she wants. I shall be there and support the child in whatever he wants to do or she wants to do. And then the baby was born. It is a girl child, radiant, beautiful. Their happiness knew no bounds. They brought her up with all their love and affection, allowed her to do whatever she wants. In the initial years, just like any other child, Vaishnavi, yes, that's what they named her, was this naughty child running around in all the neighborhoods. And as she started growing, by the time she was 5 or 6, her thirst, her hunger for knowledge just started increasing. No amount of teaching, no amount of teachers, or no amount of books quenched or satiated her thirst and hunger for knowledge. She then learned meditation. She started meditating to learn and seek for whatever she wanted, to move up the ladder of consciousness. You must be wondering how a 6-year-old or a 7-year-old girl will think about moving up the ladder of consciousness. I have no clue. Even her parents were wondering, such a small child meditates and meditates. God knows what she's seeking. And by the time she was 9, she came to her parents one day and said, Amma, Appa, I'm leaving the house. What? Where are you going? Did we do something wrong? Did we stop you? Did we scold you? They asked, just like any other parents will do. No, Amma, Appa, it's nothing about you. You are the best parents any child can have. But I have decided to go to the forest to do penance. There's too many distractions here, Amma, Appa. I just can't meditate. I want to go to the forest, deep, where there's silence and just me and my meditation. No is a no. Did you hear that? You're not going, Vaishnavi, said her mother. She looked at her dad. Ratnakar was about to say no, but he remembered the promise that he had given himself, that he shall never stop his child from doing anything that he or she wanted. Go, my child, go. Live your life, do what you want. But just remember, Vaishnavi, your father is always there with you. Come what may, backing you up. Just go and do what you have to do, said Ratnakar. Vaishnavi bid her goodbye and went. And the teary-eyed parents just kept looking at her, going away from them. She went deep into the forest and started meditating. And years passed by, and by the time she was a teenager, she continued to meditate. Because there's nothing else that you can do in the forest, right? And she came to the forest only to meditate. But then one day, she was surprised to see someone walk past with an army of monkeys. Yes, who has the army of monkeys? Lord Rama, isn't it? She looked at Lord Rama and she was immediately in love with him. And she suddenly remembered that maybe she's come here only to marry and be one with Vishnu. And Rama, being the incarnation of Vishnu, she ran to him and said, "Oh Lord, I'm in love with you. Will you please marry me? I want to be one with you." Rama looked at Vaishnavi and said, "No, my little girl. In this birth, I'm Patni Vrata. And my wife, goddess Sita, is in Lanka. Ravana kidnapped her. And that's why I'm going with this army of monkeys, my brother Lakshmana, to rescue her. I cannot marry you." "Are you sure? I'm in love with you. I can wait for you for any long. Eternity I can wait for you." Looking at the sad face of Vaishnavi, Lord Rama looked at her and said, "Okay, when I finish my exile, I shall come to you. And if you recognize me, I shall marry you. Is that okay? Are you okay with that?" "Of course, okay. I'm more than okay, Lord Rama. I can recognize you anywhere, anytime. Just come back and I shall marry you. I want to be one with you," said Vaishnavi. And Lord Rama just went away. She continued her meditation and she also was in love with Lord Rama and kept remembering him and spending time with him in her mind. After the exile, Lord Rama was returning back. And she thought, maybe Lord Rama might come today, Lord Rama might come tomorrow. When will my Rama come? And one day, as she was just doing her chores at home, she saw that there was an old man with a begging bowl. "Please give me something to eat. Oh, little girl." Beautiful woman. "You are calling me a beautiful woman? Old man? Is that how you beg? I'm not giving you anything. Just go away," said Vaishnavi. "You didn't recognize me, so I cannot marry you," said the old man. Immediately Vaishnavi realized her mistake. "Is that you, my Rama? How could I not recognize you? I am so sorry. Please forgive me and please marry me." "No, Vaishnavi, I cannot. But I will marry you for sure. I shall come back in Kali Yuga as Kalki. And you wait for me. I shall marry you then." "Are you sure? Will you marry me?" "I'll wait for you," said Vaishnavi. He said, "Don't be here. Go to the Trikuta mountains in North India and meditate there. Move your conscious level to a higher and higher state. Be there to look after the earth. And I shall come and marry you." Saying this, he gave her a bow and arrow, a small group of monkeys, and a lion to protect her. Vaishnavi set on her journey to North India with the lion, with a group of monkeys, and her bow and arrow with a lot of confidence. She continued to walk and walk and walk. It was a arduous journey to reach Trikuta mountains. And she reached and she set up a small ashram there and continued her penance and meeting people and helping them. And one day, not in the Trikuta mountains, somewhere else, there was a sage called Gorakhnath. In his dreams, he saw the sequence, the incident of where Lord Rama told Vaishnavi to do penance and to reach the higher level of consciousness. And now Gorakhnath wanted to find out whether Vaishnavi had reached that level. So he called his disciple Bhaironath and said, "Hey Bhaironath, please go and find Vaishnavi and just see what she does. How is she going to find and reach that level of consciousness that she wants to?" Bhaironath said, "Yes, Guruji, I shall go." And he set out. And as he reached the ashram of Vaishnavi, he was looking out for a old woman or a woman with just a sari meditating. And he did find Vaishnavi in that, wearing a sari, a saffron sari and meditating. And as he looked at her, it was a love at first sight for Bhaironath, just like how it was for Vaishnavi when she saw Rama. He immediately went and said, "Hey Vaishnavi, marry me." She just opened her eyes and looked at Bhaironath and said, "What? Just go away and don't disturb me. I am not here to marry anyone. I am here to look after people, to make sure there's peace on earth and to make myself just go higher and higher. Please, just go away." Bhaironath just didn't go. He waited and stalked her and followed her wherever she went. And she didn't know what to do. There was a bhandar somewhere. Bhandar is that free meal that is distributed after a puja and anyone can go and eat. Vaishnavi was there. Gorakhnath along with his 300 disciples and Bhaironath were there. And even there, Bhaironath started asking Vaishnavi, "Marry me, marry me, marry me, marry me." Vaishnavi was fed up. She just fled from that place and ran away. Not literally ran away, walked fast and went away. She stopped in a couple of places and then she reached the cave. She went into the cave and started meditating. Bhaironath had followed her. And he entered the cave and again said, "Vaishnavi." And this time, Vaishnavi lost it. She lost her cool, just came out of the cave and beheaded Bhaironath. Bhaironath's head fell in a far-off mountain. And that's when the soul of Bhaironath realized what a folly he had made and really sought for forgiveness from Vaishnavi. Vaishnavi said, "Okay, I forgive you. And I shall also give you a boon that any devotee's pilgrimage will not be complete till they come and meet you in your temple." Saying this, she renounced her human form. She became a 5.5-foot stone rock with 3 pindis on top, 3 small rocks on top. And that's what is the deity which is there in the Vaishnodevi temple, and we worship it. You must be wondering, what are the 3 pindis which are there? The 3 pindis are Lord Saraswati, Ma Kali, and Ma Lakshmi. And why those 3 are there is another story altogether. So let's end the story by all of us praying or shouting from the bottom of our hearts, not shouting literally, seeking and calling Ma, saying, "Jai Mata Di!" Once more, "Jai Mata Di!" Namaskar.